What's going on, guys? It's etaprime back here again. Today I want to show you the best Arcade1up mod that you can possibly do to your cabinet, and that's adding a custom vinyl. So this used to be the Arcade1up Rampage version, but as you can see, I've converted it to a Simpsons cabinet. I've made a couple tutorials on how to mod your Arcade1up machine, specifically installing a Raspberry Pi, and I also did one for a Pandora's box. But in this build here, I'm actually running a Windows x86 PC with Big Box and Launchbox on it. The vinyl itself was made by Arcade They have a full variety of different vinyls for your Arcade1up machine. They also just started doing the Alphacade also. And if you use code etaprime, you can get 20% off a full vinyl kit. Full disclosure, I'm not being paid for this review, and I do not receive an affiliate or commission if you use my code on their website. They simply sent me over a vinyl for review and a 20% off code for my viewers. I will be taking a look at the site at the end of this video, but I'm leaving all links in the description. Installing the vinyls is pretty easy, but I do recommend having somebody there to help you out. I had my wife help me put these on, and as you saw, I don't have the left-hand side on right now. I wanted to leave it off for this review. But here it is. I can install it anytime I need to. It's a sticky back vinyl and they're pretty simple to do. Since I'm using a PC in here, I did have to install some encoders. I got a video on all of that. I'll leave links in the description. And one thing I kind of messed up on was putting my single encoder on the far right hand side, so I do need to swap this out, but I figured it's good enough to make a video right now. For 2 players, I'm using a Zen mode dual player encoder, and for the other player, since we have 3 here, I'm using a cheap USB encoder from Amazon. I actually really like these. They register as like Dragon boards. I am using the stock sticks and buttons that came with the Arcade1up, but I do want to swap the sticks out later on down the road because I'm already having issues with one of them. I opted to use a full-blown PC in here because I had an extra one laying around that wasn't being utilized, but I do recommend using a Raspberry Pi. It'll be much cheaper if you don't have a PC laying around that you can throw in one of these. I do plan on adding more games down the road, but I think I should add a 3rd button for each player because, like one of my other favorite arcade games, X-Men, required 3 buttons, but The Simpsons only required 2, and there are tons of other games that only require 2. But for this demo, I just threw The Simpsons on here, each version. So I have the 4-player world and the 2-player world. I had my kids help me out with gameplay here since this is a 3-player cabinet. I've set up the start buttons as coin and start. So every time you hit it, it's going to put a coin in and start the game. While you're playing the game, all you have to do is hit it and it'll add more coins. It's not going to affect anything. I did have to go into the main settings and set up each one of these controllers, but luckily it's only 3 buttons and a joystick, so it didn't take that long for each player. The last thing I really need to do to this is put the other side art on, mount the controller board down because I don't have any screws in it right now, place it downstairs. Luckily, my wife told me that I could put this downstairs now. She loves the look of it with that blue, and it'll go with everything she has down there. Alright, come on, let's go this way. If you're using the 4-player version of The Simpsons, you have a preset character. So number 1 would be Marge, number 2 would be Homer, and number 3 would be Bart. But I've also installed the 2-player version so you can choose your character. The far left controls are player 1, the far right controls are player 2, because this does get kind of cramped. If you've ever seen an Arcade1up machine, you know they're small, and having 3 people crowded around it makes for a lot of shoulder and elbow bumping. So I think spreading 1-player and 2-player out was a good idea. We'll get right in here, and they can choose their character. So hit that. Alright, now you're 1 player.
I'm him. Oh my gosh, you're him up. I'm the dad. I'm him. Yes, yes. Yes, I'm the boy. Oh, that's me. Jess, look at your, let's see your cool move. Jesse, I want to beat it up. I want to go.
I did want to give you a quick look at the internals. This is a Think Center with an i5-2400 and 4 gigabytes of RAM. I'm also running a GT 1030, but I'm going to swap it out for a 710 as soon as it comes in the mail. Don't want to waste that 1030 on MAME. So this is all plumbed in through HDMI using one of the LCD controller boards. that I've shown in previous videos. You can buy these on Amazon. I'll leave a link in the description. The controller boards do have a built-in amp, and you kind of got to find the correct wires, but I'm using the stock speaker that came with the Arcade1up. I would like to swap it out, but I think for a small cabinet, it sounds fine. Yes, this PC is overkill for MAME. It uses much more power than a Raspberry Pi, and the Pi can play The Simpsons just fine. But I had this laying around, I wanted to utilize it somehow, so I just shoved it in here. Works fine. Before I get out of here, I did want to show you the site I got this from. This is arcadegraphics.com. Link will be in the description. And remember, if you buy a full vinyl kit, you can get 20% off using etaprime. And I do want to reiterate this. I'm not being paid any commission if you purchase one of these from the website using my links or the coupon code etaprime. I'm not being paid to make this video whatsoever. And they were kind enough to send a sample over and a 20% off code for you guys. They offer a bunch of other stuff on their website like marquees and kick panels, but I was really interested in the full kits, and I think the next one I want to get a hold of is the X-Men version. Another one of my favorite arcade games, and if I can score one of these Arcade1ups on clearance from Walmart, I missed the last sale they had, I will be doing another one of these cabinets. But they do offer a lot of other designs, and more are added all the time, so keep an eye on the site if you don't see something you like now. So that's pretty much it for this video, guys. I really appreciate you watching. This is definitely not necessary. You can use your Arcade1up machine just like it sits. I think the vinyls that come pre-installed look pretty good, but if you want to change the whole look, this is an awesome option. Links for everything I mentioned in this video will be in the description. I'd really appreciate it if you could hit that like button, maybe subscribe to the channel, and like always, thanks for watching.